Warning, listening to this podcast could result in spending or saving large amounts of money. Listener discretion advised.
Strap in for a wildly unqualified adventure with two overly opinionated collectors, armed with good intentions and questionable expertise, as they stumble through a galaxy of toys and collectibles, pretending to know it all, where every figure has a story and every opinion is a showdown. Welcome to Across the Toyverse.
Things are going to start happening for me now.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Across the Toyverse. I almost forgot the name of the freaking podcast.
It has been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a few minutes since we've since how many hours you think it's been since we last did a. No, it's definitely the joke right there. Yeah. That joke goes all the way back to about 36 minutes ago. It has been a couple of weeks. You got real busy. I got real busy. School started. School started, and that's a big thing. You've got, a little one to get back and forth. I've got 3. So it's been kind of busy with all the other shit that we both have going on that we're all doing. But we wanted to try something different. We decided we wanted to shake things up and make it a little more lively and have more natural conversations that you and I would normally have, like when we sit down and, because you guys may not know, we have been recording from our respective homes. We just do it over the internet. Even though we live in the same city, we don't really live near one another. So we thought about, what if we just got together, had lunch together, and sat in the same room. We're looking at the same toys. We're messing with the same figures. We're seeing each other, and we're not really talking to the microphone. We're kind of talking to each other and just having a natural conversation. So we're doing that this time. Hopefully you guys won't notice any change in quality,
Unless it's, you want that upward momentum, baby.
Exactly. Upward momentum. So one of the things that while we haven't been doing in episodes, we have been keeping going. We have been keeping the versus pose offs going. If you guys are following on Instagram,
shout out to Master Roshi on Instagram, whoever that is. He's keeping me alive. He is keeping us both alive,
keeping us afloat with the voting. So yeah, I'm down with that. Actually, I don't recognize that name. I don't think it's one of my friends. So
I don't know.
That's good. I'm trying to do better. We're also going to try to do better about finding like funny little moments that are like little viral moments that happen maybe in the podcast and putting them out separately.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
We'll probably try to do that too and get those up on Instagram to garner a little bit more engagement. But you guys let us know in the comments of this video if you like this podcast, if you're listening to it, what you like about it, what we could do better, and what you'd like to see in future episodes, and we'll take everything into consideration. So that's us doing things different. And
intro done.
I can check that off the list.
Yeah.
We'll take a quick break because we're already exhausted, and then when we come back, I know, right? I need a water or something. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about our pickups.
Hell yeah.
Okay, welcome back to the podcast. I kind of figured you and I would be both really excited to talk about our most recent pickups. That would be like, for us this time, I think it's the exact same one. Like, we're super excited about this new.
If I was going to talk about one, it would be this guy.
Absolutely. That is the Storm Arena Ken. It's kind of strange that Ken got out ahead of Ryu.
Yeah.
Or
we all pre-ordered Ryu. And then they said, well, here's Ken. And we were like, well, I'll take him too, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Ken's my favorite of the two. He's always been my favorite. I don't know why. But, you and I both really love the Jada Toys Street Fighter line. Love being able to walk into a local Target, find them on shelves. I mean, you were with me whenever I found the
Blanca and Sagat.
Yeah, my gosh, that was like, what a find, because we were just messing around with them that day over at Alberto's house. And then we went to the mall and we went to the Target near him, and like, bam, like there they were.
Yeah.
And have you since gotten either one of those two?
No. I'm probably, they got Storm Arena has a Sagat coming out, and they have a Storm Collectibles Blanca. And so I'm getting the Storm Arena Sagat for sure. And I might just hold out for the Storm Arena Blanca because I noticed they have a Storm Collectibles Balrog already. Right. Now they're dropping a Storm Arena Balrog.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I might just hold out on all the collectibles and just pick up the arenas as they put those out, because they're going to be in the cheaper price point. And this Ken is just amazing. And so I'm perfectly happy with this.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think one, I'm going to say that one does not dominate the other. Like, I do have my
I feel a little differently. I think. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. That's totally fine. I mean, I feel like, I think the Storm Arena edges out the Jada Toys a little bit for me personally. And if I had to, be held to just one line, I think I would definitely go with the Storm Arena.
Yeah.
But I kind of think if you kind of feel like the Jada Toys Ken is like an 8, like 8 out of 10. I mean, this is like an 8.5 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. Like he only just barely edges him out just a little bit for me.
There's pros and cons to each. My main contention is that the Jada line has just a little bit of a like softer posing. It's like it doesn't quite hold every pose the way I want.
Yep.
And the Storm Collectibles, Storm Arena does. Like, you put this guy in a pose, he stays there until you go to sleep and he comes to life. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so that to me gives them a bigger advantage. And then they also have toe articulation, which I don't necessarily need, but he's got it. And so I'm happy with it.
Toe articulation is something that I typically don't care for when it comes to like my mainline action figures, like let's say G.I. Joe Classified or Marvel Legends, Hasbro Black Series. I don't need toe articulation. It's not something that I go after. Sometimes if it's really loose, if the pins are loose, then it just makes the feet a hassle. But I like the ones on Storm Arena because I kind of feel like you do need those for your ninja style karate, kung fu style characters, because you do get a lot of those shifting your weight poses.
Or if you're trying to pose them like in the game, like if you're looking up game poses online and you want to get him exact, you got to have toe articulation,
right,
to get some of these.
And it's tight toe articulation, so it stays. It doesn't make the feet floppy. Like, you can definitely get that pushing off, shifting your weight, momentum.
Yeah.
I do think that there's also one extra added articulation point with the Storm Arena figure right there in the stomach, with that extra little bend, and I think that helps.
Is that extra? Oh, it is, because it bends too.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, that's I just kind of call that the Marvel Legends ab crunch kind of thing.
Only better.
Yeah, only way better. And the Jada Toys doesn't have that. I mean, again, it's getting you a little bit more range of motion, not a ton.
Yeah.
But I like that it's there.
Yeah.
And with a gi on, it's hidden and you can't even see it.
Oh yeah.
But you take the shirt off, and having the shirt off too, that's another plus for me, is I think the musculature, the proportions of the body, I like it better. Yeah. But it's only because I really love the anime style of Street Fighter Alpha 3. Or Street Fighter 3 Alpha, where that's just one of the things I gravitated towards.
That's another point, because some people really only played like the early Street Fighter games, and if you want that look, then that's the Jada look. But this is Storm Arena has Street Fighter Alpha 3 look going on, which is a more anime style. But I do like this Ken, like He-Man heads. Yeah. He got going on. He could be a good He-Man.
Well, the Jada Toys, I mean, I'm not knocking it. I mean, that aesthetic looks just like the game art.
Yeah.
It looks just like it. And that's what they're going for, and it looks great. Also, when it comes to paint apps, it's kind of funny to me. I feel like Jada's got more paint apps on the skin tones and less on the clothes, whereas the Street Fighter Alpha, or the Storm Arena has more paint apps on the clothes and less paint apps on the body, I feel.
Yeah. I'm looking at it now, and there's more. Like we're sitting here in daylight, and so I'm able to see a little bit better than I can in my house, which I keep at basement lighting levels.
Right. Yeah.
And I do see some shading in between the muscles.
Yeah. It's subtle.
Yeah, it's very subtle. But also, I didn't notice that the Jada does have some shading also on the gi.
Right. Yeah.
That I just it was,
I mean,
and there was more subtle on the gi. Yeah. It was more subtle on the gi and more dark on the skin, and then opposite with the Storm Arena.
And we also have to talk about the fact that the Storm Arena comes with
More stuff.
a really cool base, like one of the best. Like, I am so glad they give me that base. I know I'm getting another one with Ken. If they include one with every one of the figures, I'm down for that, because it's a fantastic base. It has different posing options. It's super articulated, and they're staying in lockstep. Like, I just got with price. Jada Toys, the basic figures have now gone up to $29.99. And now Storm Arena has gone up to $29.99. So they're at the exact same price point. And I still feel like I'm okay with $30. To me, that's it's the value. I feel like I'm getting $30 worth of value out of it.
$27 honestly was surprisingly cheap for what you're getting. And so we talked about this before, and I said I expect it to go up to 30 to be their base, and it already has. We haven't even gotten a $27 figure from them. You know, that's what they were advertised as. But still, it's a solid $30 figure. They could, don't tell Storm Arena I said this, but they could go up to 35 and I would not miss anything. I wouldn't cut anything out from the ones I'm already going to get.
Fire pose you're putting in too, by the way.
Oh yeah, thank you. But I'm not going to be getting all of them from either line. But because like I have Ken and I have Ryu on order, and Dan is basically the same, except he's in a pink gi and his Steven Seagal head. But I don't know if I need Dan because he's otherwise the same. So I'm kind of iffy on Dan. But like,
and they've announced who's coming next. So we were getting
Armika, which we're both excited.
Oh my gosh, yeah! Like, so the very next one after Dan. So they're doing Ken, Ryu, Dan. Then is it Akuma?
Well, Sagat is on pre-order.
Oh, Sagat.
He's on pre-order now.
And then
there's a Balrog, which I got to get both of those. I love both of those characters.
And Bison. No, it is Balrog. That's right. I forgot. I'm mixing them up with Japanese names.
That's right. So I do. I just check myself because M. Bison was supposed to be Balrog, and Balrog was supposed to be Bison.
Frenzy and Rumble all over again. So it is. So yeah, those are the next two. So Dan, Sagat, and Balrog, and then they've announced the next three after that is Cammy, who we both love.
Yes.
Akuma and Armika. No, Zangief.
Cammy, Zangief.
Zangief, and Armika. Yes. Oh man, that's a great lineup.
Yeah. And I'm on board for almost all of those. Like I said, I'm trying to decide about Dan, but like, yeah, man,
yeah.
Check them out. Definitely check them out. Or, you know, if you haven't already gotten any of the Jada ones, go to Walmart or Target, and you're sure to find Ryu, Chun-Li, or
Fei Long. Yeah, from the first wave.
Yeah.
Walmart has them pretty regularly.
And for $30 a piece, those are great figures. So
yeah, it's just I think it's whichever one if you have a aesthetic choice one way or the other, I think that could be a deciding factor. Or if you don't buy a lot online and you only shop in stores, I think, that may be a factor. Other than that,
looking at this Ken, I see He-Man now that I've said it.
Yeah, he does look like the new Mattel He-Man head that they're using.
The Jada Ken looks like He-Man. The Storm Arena Ken, of course, is from Alpha 3, so he looks like, anime heartthrob.
I think what's going to end up happening is I could tell myself I'm not going to get Dan, but then what'll end up happening is it'll be like I'll probably mess around with Ken for like 3 or 4 weeks, then I'll get Ryu, mess around with him for a month, and then Dan will come out and I'll be like, well, it's been about a month, I need another one.
Yeah.
Even though it's pretty much the same, just the gi will change, because I think he has a shirt underneath his gi.
That's right. He has a
real life shirt.
Oh, that's right. So that is going to be a different aesthetic.
Yeah, I wonder how they'll do that. I wonder if it'll all be one piece or if it'll also be removable, because these are removable. They have a little bit of a soft rubbery chest, which I love. But I mean, just the fact that he can do that is just incredible. Yeah, I did snap a picture of the pose you put in, so I'll share that on our Instagram. But yeah, absolutely. This has been a fire release. You know, I didn't know that they were going to come out swinging this way. I also did not know that if you'd have told me a year ago that in 2025 my you know my favorite toy line would be like 6-inch scale Street Fighter figures, I would not have agreed with you. I'd been like, no, you got to be crazy. Not me, but here I am with two different toy lines bringing the goods. Yeah, I mean, come on, that's a retail figure.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
We're messing around with them right now. For those listening at home, Scott just put the Jada Street Fighter Ken into a amazing pose.
We'll snap some pictures and put them up on Instagram.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's going to bring a close to our pickup section. And then what we'll do is we'll take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll get into our main topic of discussion. All right. Well, we're back from, that was actually a pretty lengthy break for us. For you guys at home listening,
You won't notice.
you won't notice. But today's main topic, what we wanted to talk about was some of our all-time favorite action figure lines based on a live action movie. It was something I think both of us could talk about on the drop of a dime. We could totally do this at any point in time. Then you've brought some honorable mentions here that we're going to be looking at as well.
Yeah.
But let's kick it off. What is your favorite all-time action figure line based on the live action movie?
My favorite, I brought a representation about my ride or die, my day one, is Raphael from the NECA 1990 Ninja Turtles movie, live action movie. That's my favorite line, and it happens to be based on my favorite movie, which is the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie. And just, I feel like in terms of the look and overall quality, I feel like NECA really knocked it out of the park. They lack obviously in articulation because it's NECA. So there's some, I always describe NECA figures as sort of like many inexpensive, highly detailed statues that you can pose, because they're not action figures in the way like SH Figure Arts and Mayfex and some other higher end figures are. But for the $35 price point, I mean, they use different types of plastic. So they get, there's hard plastic where it needs to be hard plastic, and then there's like softer feet and hands, which lends to being able to like grip things really well. And so it's a solid line, and that's my favorite for live action movie action figures, for sure.
I remember like the movie figures that came out in the 90s.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I loved those.
Yeah,
because to me, I thought, holy crap, these look like they're straight from the movie. Like, I remember being a kid and getting them.
And no, they don't.
No, they don't. Like, not even a little bit. Like, but in my mind back then they did, because, compared to like the Ninja Turtle figures that we did have, that up to that point, they were hard plastic. They looked like, cartoon characters. Whereas these new ones had like big bulgy eyes, the big teeth, and they had like this wet, rubbery skin. It was very fantastic. I loved them.
It was very rubbery, and that made them more fun to play around with.
But you're right, they looked nothing. They didn't move.
Yeah, it's funny though. They did a reissue of those recently, and so seeing them on the shelf was very nostalgic. But I was just like, man, how did I ever look at this monstrosity and be like, oh, it's just like the movie.
Dude, that felt the same way like the very first time. I think it was like almost 25 years ago now that I bought my very first Hot Toys figure. Yeah, and it was the Heath Ledger Joker and Christian Bale Batman. And I would have told you, like, this looks just like Heath Ledger. Like, this looks just like, it's like so photoreal. Like, look how amazing this is. It looks nothing like him now. Like, compared like what Hot Toys is doing now versus Like now it looks like they literally have shrunk down a human being and it is like a real thing that's there. Whereas before they just are very close in approximation. He's not even close. Yeah, when I saw the re-release figures, I thought, oh, I'm going to buy those because I loved them as a kid. And then I saw them in Target and I was like, these are terrible.
Yeah.
These look nothing like,
Yeah.
my nostalgia is rose colored this whole toy line for me. But you're right. That is a fantastic figure. The articulation is good enough. It does kind of like what I need it to do. Would I love it to do more? Absolutely. I would say that it's more posable than like say a McFarlane Toys figure, but that's not saying a whole lot. Like
For a turtle, they struggle with, getting it to like twist,
sure.
because like you either go with it's not going to twist, or you go with it's going to have this big ugly twist in the middle that's going to be noticeable, and I'm never going to use it because it's going to be too noticeable.
Right.
And so what NECA did was they literally put the legs and the upper body separate from the shell, so they can twist a little,
Right.
which is nice, which I didn't expect. But still, yeah, I'd like it to be able to do more than that. But anyway, it's fine for like posing on your shelf. It doesn't lend itself well to doing posing videos, which is a thing that I have started doing in the recent couple of years.
Well, you should do one with him and see how far you can push it.
I did do a little short one because I was on a lunch break and I did this little Raphael doing like morning calisthenics type thing, like morning stretches. So it was not very many photos because there's only so much range you can get out of them. But
sometimes I love seeing TikTok pose videos or Instagram posts. Well, where somebody takes a figure and pushes it way further than I ever thought it would go, and they get some crazy poses out of like Marvel Legends Spider-Man figures, or like I saw one recently with McFarlane Toys movie Superman, and I was like, I have that figure. Can you do that? I'm like, am I just not being creative enough? Or like,
sometimes it literally can't. Sometimes you can tell you took the head off, put some sticky tack on the neck, and
spin down.
angle it so you can look up. Sometimes they do that. But it's all for the videos.
I would love it if Mayfex would do those. I would be broke, but I would get them for sure. Absolutely.
I had said I wanted Mezco to do them, and now Mezco has shown off their initial, like, what are they called? The prototypes.
Yeah.
And I don't want Mezco to do them anymore because I do not think those prototypes look good. For one thing, the heads are huge, which Mezco is kind of known for. But then also just the bodies don't have as much detail in like the paint as the NECA ones do. And I don't understand why you would here 12, 15 years later, be a higher end company and make figures that don't look as good as something that's been out for a decade.
Right.
That's weird. So it's their prototype, but they did show them off at San Diego Comic-Con. So
yeah,
they feel like it's close enough to being finished. But like I saw those and I was just like, I'm saving my $400.
Right.
I'm not buying those.
Personally, I'd rather have like their other Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Looks incredible. I would rather have that. That's their own aesthetic, their style. Is this the head that came in like the accessories pack?
No, that's the standard head.
That's the standard head that comes on him? I can't remember.
Yeah, he's got, they did release angry heads for each of these guys. And so I ended up getting the angry heads for all of them. But I have several copies, especially of Raphael. I have at least 5 of this same NECA Raphael because I didn't want, what if the other 4 break down?
Yeah.
But then I have
one.
Yeah. Then I have at least 2 of each of the brothers opened also. Just because it's my favorite movie, it's my favorite toy line. I don't want to be caught without. I don't want to be 20 years down the line. All of a sudden mine are falling apart and it's, $200 a piece to replace them.
Right.
Of whatever happens. So
yeah, it is crazy to think of how old those figures are and how well they still hold up. I have them. I have the Shredder, the Splinter. I don't have a Casey or an April, which is a shame. And then I think I have Super Shredder in the second movie, Secret of the Ooze. Yeah. And then I have all 4 of the brothers in their samurai gear, and I've never even seen the 3rd film. So I need to rectify that. I need to watch it.
Yeah.
But I love it when I buy a figure and it makes me want to go and watch the movie. Like that's kind of like the best. I can't heap any more praise on a figure than that. Then when I buy the toy, it makes me want to go back and watch the source material if I'm not familiar. But yeah, that's it's kind of funny. We're talking about movie-based action figures because that's really what got me back into collecting when I kind of give up collecting.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that before. Yeah.
What got me back into it was working at the movie store and then buying a bunch of like McFarlane movie maniacs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that, so like Sleepy Hollow and that kind of stuff. Edward Scissorhands and all those.
I have Edward Scissorhands still. I have Sleepy Hollow, the Christopher Walken figure.
Yeah.
I have the tree, which is an awesome backdrop diorama piece. Yeah.
So I wish I still had that. I didn't have that.
Yeah.
And the old crone.
Yeah.
I have that figure.
But you worked at Suncoast, and right around the same time, I was working at Spencer's Gifts. The same thing.
Yeah, they would.
We didn't know each other. This was just like we had a somewhat parallel eyes. Yeah. I was working at Spencer's Gifts, and we started getting all the McFarlane movie stuff in, and that became my whole identity. I was like, I need to collect movie replica stuff. Like, that's great, because I always loved movies and I always loved action figures. And so I got and I still have most of those early NECA and McFarlane stuff that I had bought, that I'd collected. I still have I got the Lost Boys. I got The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing. I still have a ton of that stuff.
Yeah, man.
And then I started more recently getting into 6-inch stuff, because all those are 7-inch. And McFarlane's making 7-inch, but I'm just not into the McFarlane stuff. Right. So I've just been collecting less NECA, more 6-inch. So I'm more a Mezco.
I got rid of all of that stuff, man. Sold it all on eBay. And the only figures from back then that I wish I still had was the McKenzie brothers from Strange Brew. He made those two. There are 2 different sets. You bought them and put everything together, and they had so many like coolers and so many beers, and they made a little set from their public access show.
Yeah.
And man, like, I need to look those up. I need those again. I need those in my life, because that's one of my favorite all time, like top 10 favorite movies of all time. It's
nice. I haven't watched it in a while, but
yeah, it's so funny. Like, it holds up to this day. Like, the minute, just I watch it, and then for like the next 4 months, I'm just walking around telling everybody to take off. Take off.
Yeah. Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas, Strange Brew. If you haven't seen it.
They go in there, like, they love hockey, they love beer, they have a public access show. They I guess it was like, was that early SNL, or that was on something else?
Yeah, that was
not SNL. That
was from is it Groundlings or SCTV.
FTV. It was a Canadian based SNL. Same situation. But yeah, they loved hockey, they loved beer. In the movie, they try to raise money by making a science fiction movie, and they want to start a beer production company. Like, it's bizarre, dude. Like, it's bonkers on so many good levels. But all right, so mine is definitely going to have to be right around the same time that these came out, and that is I think it was the 89-90. It was right around there. Batman line from Toyverse, from the 89 Batman Michael Keaton movie. Because that was just like a pivotal point in my life when that movie came out. Batman's my favorite comic book character. We were moving. It was a big, massive move for us. And I was afraid, like, we were moving right before the movie came out. And I was afraid when we moved, like, I was like, is this new place going to have a movie theater so I can see the movie? I thought I was going to be able to see the movie. And I was able to get, like, I brought my, when we made the big move, I brought my Kenner's superpowers, Batman and Penguin and stuff like that with me. But then when we got where we were, when we moved to the new place, I was able to, like, find the new Batman figures on shelves. And so you had
they had them there too?
They had them there too. So it was the Batman that had the belt that would come out and become the grappling hook. Yeah. There wasn't a lot of figures in that line.
Lighter leash belt.
Yeah, exactly. There was Batman. There was like 2 or 3 versions of Batman that came out. There was the Joker. There was like 2 versions,
which looked like
nothing like the movie.
I mean, I don't know what you looked at. It was a dead representation,
exactly,
of Jack Nicholson.
I didn't know what my internet.
Jack Nicholson is what we call him.
Here's some of the images.
It looked like nothing. It looked no Joker you've ever seen.
Yeah. He never looked like this.
Yeah. It's great.
But I did do some snapshots. We had Bob the Goon.
Yep.
We had that figure, which was crazy. Like, his hand had never really held that gun. So when you click the little button, his arm would pop up to, like, draw the gun. It would just throw the gun across the room. let's see. The Batcave was actually really dope. There was a Batcave playset. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah,
But it's missing a lot of the cardboard bat droppings and stuff. But
I do remember seeing that. I didn't have it though.
and the playset, the Batmobile was just absolutely fantastic. It came with this little plastic shell that set down over the Batmobile, that's like the armor.
Yeah.
I love that. The Batwing, the Joker had a motorcycle. Batman had a motorcycle. Joker had a van. And I think that was it. Oh yeah, and then there was the Two-Face. They made one Two-Face figure, of course, not from the movie.
Right.
Had this crazy little knob that stuck out of his side, and you twisted it, and the coin would flip in his hand. It would just spin around in a circle.
This giant coin that he,
Yeah,
yeah. Two-Face always carried around a dime 3 times the size of his head.
This is actually the size of a real life dime.
Yeah, right, yeah.
It was crazy, but I love that line so much. It just came out. It's such a perfect time. The movie was like my favorite movie. Like, if you'd have asked me in 1989, what was the greatest cinematic achievement of all time, I would have told you it was Batman for sure. Tim Burton's Batman. I loved that movie as a kid and still do as an adult. It definitely holds up.
Yeah.
It
was my favorite Batman movie.
There has been a lot of really good movie releases from action figure lines from movie releases over the years. Some of them fairly recently. You've brought some other figures as well. Why don't you talk about those from two different same franchise, two different toy lines?
Yeah, I had to bring my honorable mention. The SH Figure Arts Indiana Jones is the best figure likeness that I have ever just seen, period. Not to mention, like, it's in a world of lots of different Harrison Ford action figures with different likeness, closeness. This one like looks like a tiny dude in your hand. Like, it looks just like Harrison Ford. If you've seen it, you know.
Yeah, apparently Harrison Ford is like one of the hardest faces to capture in figure form.
You would think, for sure. Yeah, I have him, and I was collecting the Hasbro Indiana Jones line, so I have all those accessories from all those characters, and so I also brought Short Round with me from the Hasbro line, and then as you see, I brought my bag of just the Hasbro Indiana Jones goodies, and not even all these are from Hasbro. Some of these I robbed from
a little skull chalice from the typical shirtless Indy, right when he's been possessed. I love this.
I can still hear the noises he makes in that scene where he's yeah. I think Temple of Doom is my personal favorite. I wouldn't call it the best.
Mine too.
Really, I wouldn't call it the best of the three, but I just love Temple of Doom.
Well, for me,
like about him saving the kids, I think, and having Short Round. Like when I was a kid, I was probably about Short Round's age. You know, we were probably close to it. And so something about it was the Batman and Robin effect, because that's why they brought Robin into the Batman comics, so that the readers could be like, I'm Robin, Robin's me. And I never connected with Robin. But for some reason, Short Round, I was like, oh, definitely Short Round. So
for me, I think it was definitely there was more whip action, more him swinging and using his whip. It was kind of grosser, you know?
Yeah.
You know, with like the snake and the monkey brains, and the heart ripping and all that. It still wasn't scary.
Right.
And then, you know, the one thing that Temple of Doom, I think, gave us that I hate to this day is the minecart level. Because I think because of that movie, now every video game puts a minecart level in every year. And always, everybody hates the minecart level. But I don't know. I think that was the first one I saw. I didn't see Raiders of the Lost Ark first.
That could be it. That's maybe the first one I saw too.
And so I just connected with it more. Like the first, you know, the first Star Wars movie that came out in theaters when I was a kid was Return of the Jedi. And it's always been my favorite. Everybody goes to Empire, but it was always my favorite. But when I first saw them, I actually saw all three of them together. So, but it was the first one that came out. So I think I connected more with it because of that one, because of that reason. But no, the SH Figure Arts line is great. The Hasbro line was actually really good for a mass market retail line. Right. I wish it hadn't been so short-lived. It was almost like Hasbro they were like, okay, you guys are going to get X amount of money to make like 25 figures. And that's all you're doing, and that's all you're getting, and we're not making any more. I don't think that people weren't supporting it. I just think, and then they had like very weird choices. There was like it was a weird line. Clear omissions, like figures that we really needed to get, like Molaram.
We never got Molaram.
I would have killed to have.
And we never got the mechanic. The kid Indy Fist West.
Right. Yeah.
We never got either of these two like iconic characters.
Or even like the scimitar swordsman that he shoots.
Yeah.
Like we never got that guy.
Right.
But we got random characters from the new movie.
From the new one, yeah.
You know, like Antonio Banderas's character.
Yeah.
Who wants that?
Right. And which came out before I ever saw the movie. And it said his name was like Boatman Jack or something. I was like, oh, good. They gave us Boatman Jack or whatever the hell his name was. I was livid with that. And then the other thing that gets me is they released a whole wave of Dial of Destiny figures. And what's the one accessory we didn't get? The Dial of fucking Destiny. Didn't come with a single figure. Instead, they gave them accessories that went with previous other other releases waves.
Right.
They gave us, I think, old Indy came with like this a snake to go on top of the skull thing that holds all the rocks when it's like
Everyone knows Indy hates snakes.
Indy hates snakes, but there was no snake on the thing, so they just made that up.
Yeah.
So somebody sat there and said, what accessories are we going to put with this Dial of Destiny? And I like to think there was one dude in the boardroom going, what about the Dial of Destiny? And they were just like, snake? Did I hear somebody say snake? Let's sort of Rob. Yeah.
It's not giving them no Dial of Destiny.
That drove me nuts, dude. I don't think maybe I did. I think I did buy pretty much every one of the figures from all those waves. No Dial of Destiny.
Yeah. I didn't get all of the ones from the Dial of Destiny. I didn't get all those figures. I didn't even get all the figures from the third Last Crusade film. Like I didn't get like his dad. Or,
I didn't. Yeah, I still.
Templar Knight. I never found in stores. Or
I'm not really interested in the Knight because I just don't. I'm not gonna do anything with them. I would like to have Indiana Jones or Henry Jones Sr. And then there was what's his name? The bad guy. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Oh, from the first film.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name either.
Anyway, I didn't get them. But just to double back quickly, another reason I really liked Temple of Doom was Willie Scott. I always loved Willie Scott. I always thought she was better than Marion, in my opinion, for what I want out of a movie. I liked the Willie Scott character.
I did too.
And I like Marion. Marion's like, I would never say anything bad about Marion, but next to Willie Scott, I just enjoy seeing, and now I can think of her actress.
No, Kate Capshaw.
Dude, yeah. I just enjoy seeing her on screen. She adds so much. Yeah, okay. She adds so much to the movie.
Yeah.
Whereas Marion feels like definitely of that world. I like that Willie Scott represented a different element,
Right.
And so I don't know. She just made that movie a lot more fun for me. And we don't have. That's another figure they didn't give us is Willie Scott. I would like Molaram, the mechanic, and Willie Scott. We didn't get those. We did get Boatman Pete, whatever his name was.
Exactly. There's so many they give us. They're like, people are going to want the ones from the new movie. We're not.
No, we don't. We really don't.
We're not. So that
You could have skipped that movie. We wouldn't have even noticed.
Right.
You could have just done the original trilogy. I am glad they skipped the Crystal Skull one.
Who were the Crystal Skull?
We didn't need any of those.
Yeah.
For sure. What about the scene where they pull Indiana Jones out of the quicksand with a snake and they go, just pretend it's a vine? I hate that movie so much. We're not talking about movies right now, Mark.
No, we're not. Dude, I couldn't agree with you more. These are both two great honorable mentions for sure, like 100%. As a matter of fact, I'm struggling to find anything recently, movie tie-in wise, that's not done by McFarlane. That I have really connected with.
There's been some misses, man. There's like, we've seen like what SHF is doing with the David Corn swept Superman.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't, as soon as somebody said, oh, he looks like Shooter McGavin, now I just see Shooter McGavin in that figure and I don't want it. Yeah. But I already was kind of on the fence about it because of the S, because the S on the chest of the figure looks like it's a sweater.
Like looks like it's crocheted.
Yeah, they gave it all the same thick texture that they gave the rest of the suit, which is too much. And it just doesn't look good. It doesn't look like a shield. It looks like it's warm and fuzzy.
Well, this is a subject that's near and dear to our hearts because you and I both, I think we love movies probably as much as we love action figures. We'll probably come back to this topic at some point in the future, but you guys let us know in the comments below. Let us know what are we missing? What are your favorite action figures from a live action movie? You know, is it Dick Tracy? Is it the Toyverse Spider-Man? Is it, you know, what are we missing here that, you know, I'd love to go back through the comments and go, oh yeah, that's right. That was a great one. I totally forgot about that line. Because Dick Tracy pops to mind. I love those figures, even though
Yeah, the
not necessarily from that movie, but yeah, those are absolutely fantastic.
yeah, that's one of those confusing lines. Like, why did this happen?
Right.
Why did Playmates get the rights to the Dick Tracy movie? And they're all just like, they look like they look like they belong in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles world because it's the same look.
Right. Yeah. They
You know,
look like they fit in with the Ninja Turtles or
There's such a
Toxic Crusaders.
yeah, yeah. It was too confusing.
All right. Well, cool. Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk real briefly about what we're liking and what we're hating this week in action. All right. Welcome back. And we're back.
I always wanted to do that.
You can do it. And we're back. So this is a part of the podcast where we like to talk about things that are making us happy in action figures this week and things that are driving us freaking crazy. And we both have some. So why don't you kick us off? What's something that's making you want to start with your bad or your good?
We'll start with the good. My favorite thing in action figures right now is the Storm Arena line, even the Storm Collectibles, because I picked up Storm Collectibles Baki Hanma, and Skullomania, and those are just two fabulous figures. I only have one minor gripe with the Baki. It's just that he's got this like soft piece underneath his shorts that there's just too much material in the middle. So when he does these poses, it looks like he's got some he's got some ball hanging out or something.
I feel his pain. I too have a little bit much soft material in the middle.
Yeah. But the Storm Arena, I've only got the one. The only one that's come out so far is Ken, and it's so good that I'm like, I'll cancel other pre-orders if it means getting these faster. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't even know anything about the Baki Hanma IP at all. You and I have talked about it. You seemingly really like the anime. I've never watched it. I've seen the trailer for it. I just don't have the time to take on something new to try to digest. But I have the Storm Arena Baki Hanma on pre-order because I'm like, I know that thing will be fun to pose and like shoot and make videos with. Like, I can't wait to do that.
And so I'm super excited to have a couple of Storm Collectibles to compare these new Storm Arena figures to see the difference, because the collectibles are more in the $100 range and the Arena figures are more like under 50, around 30 to 40. And comparing the two, I mean, they're close, man. There's a lot to love about their cheaper line, the Storm Arena line. So I'm happy I have some representation of each so I can see that, because I already have the Storm Collectibles Baki, but I still have the Arena Baki on pre-order because I feel like I'm going to use that one just as much, if not more, just because it's, you know, a quicker, like grab and pose type thing. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the thing that's got me excited in toys. What about you?
For me right now, one of the things that I am really getting into that some certain toy companies are doing is the popping and swapping, and how they build it into the production and the DNA of the figure itself, or the figure line. So of course everybody knows like Mythic Legions. I've been doing a lot of popping and swapping with Mythic Legions over the last few weeks, but even other toy lines like AWOC, so Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, from Sparrow Toys, and Valiverse Action Force. Like, I actually get more excited with those two toy lines. Well, more specifically with Valiverse, I get more excited when they put out like a base army builder, like a troop builder figure, like they just did at I can't remember, it was a New Jersey toy show or the no, it was the Toy Tubers expo, where they put out this character called the Infantry Commando 2.0, and it's just like a basic camouflage desert woodland kind of camo guy. But he comes with so much gear, you can kind of customize him. You could get 3 of these guys and build up any type of character, any kind of warrior you want.
That's cool.
I get more enjoyment out of making stuff out of those characters than I do their named characters that come out. They're like the Bone Collector or whatever. Like, I don't need that. Like, I actually like their, give me the opportunity to make my own characters. AWOC's really good about that. So they'll put out like named characters, but they also put out their army builders, which they call ancients. And then Mythic Legions, of course. I'm currently building my own D&D like party. So I'm like, what is a stereotypical barbarian or a dwarf or an archer or a mage, look like? And I'm building out those archetypes. So I'm having a lot of fun customizing. So yeah, like right now I'm really into making my own with these, those 3 particular toy lines are just a lot of fun for me right now.
Yeah. I see a lot of people doing those customs, especially with mythics. And then sometimes a small amount of paint, to do some popping and swapping, maybe repaint part of the armor or part of the face. Yeah, you have a whole brand new original character. Like, that's super cool.
Yeah, it almost makes them like Lego in a way.
Yeah.
To where like you're buying, parts and then you're making your own thing. And that's what's really cool.
Legos for adults. Well, I guess adults can play with.
I mean, I love Lego. I mean, I still
Look at your Lego keychains on your bag as I said that.
I still play with Lego. As a matter of fact, I almost bought one at Target before coming here. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Almost pulled the trigger. But we can't always have good. Sometimes we got to take the bad with the good. What's stuck in your craw this week?
Often I prefer talking about the bad, as you have grown to know. What's got me upset right now is I mean, there's a lot. We've covered a lot of upsetting talking points in terms of toys. So I think the most recent thing is I've been such a huge fan of Mezco for the past couple of years, and it just sort of feels like they've sort of fallen off recently in some ways. Because I used to get super hyped for like every release, and I've passed on several recently that I just feel like is not meeting the value. Because the prices have kind of gone up a little over time. That's bound to happen, but they're also giving us less. So prices are going up and it's noticeably less because Mezco loves to like load you down with accessories. So when you get a new Mezco figure and it's not loaded down with accessories, but it's the same price as the last release or whatever, I don't understand that. And so right now they have 2 Nightwings that are both on pre-order. I mean, I think they're probably both sold out by now, but they have a red and a blue version, blue and a red version. The blue went up for pre-order over a year ago, and I was late ordering it. I was just like, I don't know if I need this guy, and I think I ordered it maybe a month after it came out, and they have not released it yet. But then they have since released a pre-order like this year for the red version, exact same figure, except it's like $20 more. It doesn't come with any more stuff, and it's got us all scratching our heads like, when are we going to get either one? Because it's kind of at a point now where like I have my Mafex Nightwing. I really like that guy, and I'm starting to go, do I even really want this Mezco? Like, it's been so long,
Right.
and so I don't know, and you can't get any. We're never going to get any answers out of Mezco. They don't talk to us.
No, they have zero customer service.
Yeah. Their chosen way to communicate with their customers is on Instagram. For some reason, they post updates on Instagram and they will message you on Instagram that something's coming out, but you can't reply back to it. So they'll tell you, they use Instagram sort of like email blast. And there's that, and there's just like looking at some of their upcoming releases, you can kind of tell, okay, they're putting this one out ahead of putting the regular version out. They did that with Art the Clown. They put out a bloody Art the Clown, and we know they're going to give us a clean Art the Clown. But if they put out the clean Art the Clown first, we could just bloody it ourselves. So they put the bloody one out first. There's like little stuff like that all toy companies do. But I guess it's just kind of sad to me that I love Mezco, but like their most recent 2 Gomez figures they put out, one was like a black and white with a motorcycle, and he was like $250. And I don't need a motorcycle that makes noise.
Right.
Give it some lights, sure. But if you put noise, you put sound in it, I'm paying extra money for something I'm not going to use. Same with the Spider-Man they put out. He had a light-up head. Nobody asked for that. Nobody asked for a light-up Spider-Man head. You're just making me pay more money for something I'm not going to use. So I think Mezco needs to listen to their customers a little more.
I remember you got upset with Crab Louie. That was another one. You're like, this is a figure I would get. But it was for $100.
Yeah, it was
fine. He's with nothing.
He barely comes with anything. It's not, the head and like some of the parts you can tell are or a new sculpt, but like, yeah, that one was like one of those that just cost too much. And then there was the Woodford the Frog, which I kind of later went back on because I thought he was too expensive too. Then I saw how big he was. He was a lot bigger than I thought he was. And he's a completely brand new sculpt. So I can kind of see that price going, or the price that they asked for him, but I missed him. And so now I can't get him for that price anymore. So yeah, Mezco is just kind of, they're starting to upset me, and I'm starting to move kind of away from them. I'm not quite as excited about them these days.
For me, it's like I know I harp on this a whole lot, and I'm not saying anything new that other people don't feel, at some point or whatever.
Repeating though,
but it bears repeating. I am going to continue to knock Walmart and their cancel con. I saw I think I even shared it in our chat group. That Toy News Now did a Toyverse where they were like, like you can pre-order your pre-cancellation from Walmart. You can get all your figures to like pre-cancel. Yeah, I kind of feel like that's your
pre-canceled.
Yeah,
Walmart
the pre-cancel trademark is like now like
yeah.
That's the collectible item, because what's happened here is we've had this happen now with 2 figures. So we had it happen with, oh man, I'm gonna forget one of them. One of them was the G.I. Joe Crystal Ball.
Yes.
And then what was the other one? There was another figure too that it's like, so what'll happen is they get you to pre-order the figure. It was the 1977 Marvel Legends Spider-Man. That was what it was, yeah, from that 77 movie. So what they'll do is they'll pre-sell you an item. They'll say, okay, here's the item, you can pre-order it. It's coming out in a year. All right. So you wait your year, and then your pre-order is going to get delayed at least twice, where they're going to send you an email and say, we're sorry, it's been delayed. It's now going to be out in August. We're sorry, it's been delayed. It's now going to be out in September. And then you'll get another email that's like, we're sorry, your item's been canceled because it's not going to come out at all. But meanwhile, it has now showed up in stores 3 weeks ago. And if you were lucky enough to catch it in stores, you damn well should have bought it, because you never know if they're going to cancel on it. They're more than likely going to cancel it. Yeah. So hopefully you found it in stores and you could buy it. If you didn't and you missed out, now it's canceled. Good luck.
Yeah. And
then some people are finding them in stores, some people are not. And then they'll have like all of them show up on the website, and they're like, now it's in stock. And it's like, how did that just happen to me with Crystal Ball? It was like they canceled it on one day, and then 2 days later it was in stock. It's like, why did you cancel it?
Yeah.
And then 2 days later it's in stock.
Who made the decision while this thing was en route to the warehouse to cancel these orders, and then only to have it show up? And I just don't. And Spencer had an issue, kept having the same issue with, like, was it the same Batman? Yeah, he was trying to pre-order, and they would show in stock, and he would pre-order it, and then he would cancel it, and he did that like 4 times or something with his fun thing.
And the other thing that was happening to him too was they would say it was in stock, and he would go to pick it up, and it'd be a different.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, and they say, well, oh no, it's in stock now. And he's like, I'm not falling for it anymore. It's not. It's almost like they do this weird thing where they take the SKU, and then they make the SKU the same for every figure in the wave when it gets to like Walmart, and when they scan it in. And so when it says they have 6 in stock, they don't have 6 of that figure. They have 6 of that wave.
Of that wave, yeah.
6 figures from that wave. It could be anyone from that wave.
Yeah.
And Walmart doesn't care. They'll just go over there and find it. Like I've literally seen women who are in Walmart that are the pickers. With the blue carts picking everything, and they'll just go up and I've seen them just stare at a wall, and I'm like, "Can I help you?" Like, I can actually tell you which one they're looking for. And meanwhile, you're going to grab one Batman, throw it in a box, and move on because you don't care. Yeah. But the person on the other end cares. Trust me, they do care. So that's my thing, is pre-cancellation at Walmart CancelCon.
And their website is garbage anyway, because they've opened it up to now it's basically Amazon 2.0, where you're not even necessarily buying from Walmart. Yeah, it's a marketplace. Yeah, you're not buying from Walmart part of the time. So you got to really be careful, because if you see a figure on there that looks legit and maybe the price seems close enough and you buy it, you had that experience with a Venom figure.
Got burned.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really difficult. I mean, the filter for making sure that you're in just Walmart only is really hard to get to. It's like one of the last filters on the list. So when you click filter, you have to get all the way down to the very bottom to where it's like seller. It's like Walmart almost doesn't want you to know.
Yeah.
Because they get a cut of every marketplace sale. So
yeah. They're getting a cut of the sales. They're not having to give any money back when you get a refund. So yeah, they don't have to care. It's in their best interest not to care.
Right. Well, that's going to bring us to the end of our episode, man. It's been a really good one. I hope it comes out great. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, the audio is going to be good and everything's going to sound great.
Yeah.
Definitely better doing it this way, doing it in person. I like it. I know you like it. And hopefully that'll come across and be better for the listeners. But you guys let us know in the comments down below what you think. Let us know how we did, how we're doing, and what you'd like to see in the future. And check us out on Instagram at across_the_universe. Toyverse. Why do I always say universe? Toyverse, across the Toyverse. And check out our current verses. Right now, we've got your Guile going up against my Vega from Jada's Street Fighter line.
We like to try and keep it to the same company, same manufacturer. So we're doing Jada Street Fighter right now, which is kind of what started this whole thing anyways. And it's just so much fun to pose.
Yeah.
So like I was in there, we only need 5 poses each for the week. But I was in there I was like looking up other moves that Guile can do and just, in different poses. So it's really fun.
Do you break yours up and do one a day, or do you do all of them all at once?
I usually do. I try to get 3 or 4 out of the way up front. So I can at least like coast on those.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday, I'll start to reassess like, okay, what's going to be my last one?
Step my game up. Mark's bringing the heat.
Yeah.
You win most of the time because you are a much better poser than I am.
I do normally go ahead and shoot my victory pose up front. Just in case. Just in case.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time on my Wolverine pose. There was a lot of photoshopping going on because I didn't have a cigar that would fit in his hand, and I wanted him smoking a cigar for his victory, but I ended up not needing it. So that was.
You know who's got some good cigar accessories is Mezco. If you could ever get something from Mezco for a reasonable price.
I do have one of their Hellboys. I'll check and see if he can with a cigar. But thank you for doing this. I know you had to take 2 hours out of your day to come and do it, but man, this is the way to do it, buddy. I love doing this like this, and maybe we'll keep doing it like this. So you guys keep watching, keep listening. Check us out on Instagram, and we'll catch you in the toy aisle.
Laters.